Hello everyone, Tasty Waffle here. It's time for a very important review. My review of Steven Spielberg's Lincoln. This is an excellent film that really breaks the mold of biopics. Most biopics focus on the entire life of the person and only spend a little bit of time focusing on what made them so important. This film does the opposite. This film focuses on the last month of Lincoln's life when he's trying to pass the 13th Amendment and end the Civil War. This is amazing because it focuses on the most important part of his life, which is the part that we care about the most. Spielberg is in top form here. I don't think he's made a film this good since Saving Private Ryan, and that was 14 years ago. This film has so much brilliance from beginning to end. The first thing I have to point out, the screenplay by Tony Kushner is absolutely brilliant. Tony Kushner, who won the Pulitzer Prize for drama for writing Angels in America, Millennium Approaches, is in top form here. This is a brilliant screenplay that doesn't try to dumb down any of the information about that time. Now, in terms of historical accuracy, I'm not particularly familiar with this part of history, so I don't know how accurate it is, but the attention to detail is incredibly intense and deep. Lincoln is full of absolutely brilliant performances. Daniel Day-Lewis, what can I say? He is an absolutely brilliant actor. He transforms into Lincoln. Orson Welles once said that the sign of a good performance is what the actor leaves behind in the dressing room. Daniel Day-Lewis has almost stepped out of himself and become Lincoln. It is an absolutely brilliant transformation in a long line of brilliant performances from Daniel Day-Lewis. Sally Field gives a brilliant performance as Mary Todd Lincoln, bordering on the edge of madness, which is what many of us know Mary Todd Lincoln for, but also to show us the strength and the power she was and how much support she gave to her husband during the most difficult part of his presidency. Also, of course, the great scene stealer himself, Tommy Lee Jones, as Thaddeus Stevens. What a brilliant performance. And every moment he's on the screen, you are focused on him in his performance, which is both hilarious and deep and thought-provoking. In fact, the humor in this movie took me by surprise. It's a quite funny movie. Funny in terms of wit. Not in terms of bad attempts at humor, but the script itself is funny. The things the characters say are quite funny in a very biting way. Other great performances, David Strathairn as the Secretary of State, William Seward, is brilliant here. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Robert Lincoln is wonderful. Great performance from James Spader as Mr. Bilbo, which is, I thought, an interesting name considering Hobbit's coming out soon. And also Hal Holbrook gives a great performance. This is just full of so much movie magic. The film looks great. Janusz Kaminski's cinematography is in top-notch form, as it has been in every Spielberg film that he has photographed. The music by John Williams is sparse but brilliant. It was reminiscent of Saving Private Ryan in that there wasn't that much of it, but it helped to serve the story in just how much silence there was in this film and how much focus and how much thought there was in this movie. Spielberg as a director is in top form. This is just one of those rare films that comes along once in a while that totally blew me away. This, I believe, is the best film I have seen this year. Now, I haven't really seen that many movies this year, but this is the best I have seen so far. This, I think, is a front runner at the Academy Awards, and it certainly would appeal to an Academy sense, but not only is it something that the critics like, but it's something that is just genuinely good. Now, what I would like to say is I really think Spielberg has been a long time since he's gotten his due. He is one of the greatest filmmakers. Now, admittedly, I think his last great film was Saving Private Ryan, and it's been many years. This is his return to top form. This is wonderful. This is a film that's very deep. They don't try to dumb down the history. It's very thought-provoking. This really isn't a film for children. I think, it would bore them to death. Also, the language can be a bit strong. And there's some scenes that are rather violent or rather grisly, due to the nature of the Civil War. But it doesn't focus too much on the violence. It focuses on the politics. And it does it in a way that makes it interesting. This is not a boring movie. This really pulls you in. I didn't ever feel bored or like, oh, they could have cut that out, or all this politics was going to put me to sleep. It didn't. It kept me focused and riveted. So this is just one of those films that is just one of a kind. And it's so nice to see them break from the mold of the biopic and give us something totally different. So I give this film 5 out of 5 stars. Now I'm going to start doing a rating of how many stars I think a film deserves, and I'm going to do up to 5 stars. This one gets 5 out of 5. This is an excellent film. This is in line with some of Spielberg's great works, and it is so nice to see such an amazing work of art. This is really for anyone who's into history, or even people who aren't really into history. But this will really keep your attention and really draw you in, and this is an acting handbook almost. These are almost some of the best examples I could think of in modern film of how to give great performances. And that's my review of Lincoln. Thanks. Bye-bye.